Instead of making a few bucks per sale, imagine making thousands of dollars from a single customer order. Sounds too good to be true? Well, millions of businesses are actually doing this each day. You could literally sell hundreds of products in one go. And that's exactly what you can achieve by starting a wholesale selling business. With wholesale selling, you can spend more time enjoying the financial freedom you get running a thriving business, not chasing sales and dealing with customer service queries. And it's easy to launch a profitable wholesale business with the right tools and strategies, which is exactly what we're going to reveal in this video. We'll cover every aspect you need to know to sell wholesale products online, with tips on everything from product sourcing and marketing to logistics and financing. Are you ready to become the next wholesale seller success story? Let's get started. If you're new to the channel, hey, I'm Sean from SaleWho. At SaleWho, we have helped thousands of entrepreneurs around the world build 5, 6, 7-figure stores. Before we get started, I want to remind you guys of the lucky draw this month, where you'll have a chance to win a 1-year free membership to SaleWho Directory or SaleWho Dropship. All you have to do is comment below and tell us, what is the biggest issue you're currently trying to solve in your dropshipping journey? At the end of the month, we'll choose one lucky winner and announce that person in our latest YouTube video. Now let's get back on topic to start a successful wholesale selling business. Before you can get into wholesaling, you need to know what wholesaling is. Wholesaling is a business-to-business or B2B transaction in which a company buys products in bulk from manufacturers or other suppliers and resells them to other businesses. Wholesalers typically purchase products at a lower cost than retailers and then mark up the price to make a profit. Some operate locally, while others have a national or international reach selling wholesale. In the US, the wholesale industry is booming. In November 2022, total wholesaler sales amounted to $693.72 billion, an increase over $55 billion year on year. So wholesaling is certainly promising since it is a growing industry. But what's it like to run a business in this fast growing industry? Well, running a wholesale business can be challenging but rewarding. You'll have a variety of tasks and responsibilities that need to be managed daily. For example, inventory management and financial planning are vital, while customer service, procurement, and marketing are still important. Wholesalers also deal in larger quantities of goods. So if you're operating out of your spare room or garage, you might find storage becomes an issue. But the rewards can be huge. Wholesalers can make larger profits from a single customer order, and dealing with fewer customers can mean you get more free time to enjoy the money you earn. Like any business model, there are pros and cons to running a wholesale business. Let's quickly review the key considerations to see if this business model suits you. Here are the pros that make running a wholesale business enticing. The first pro is you can make bulk sales. Because wholesale transactions typically involve large quantities of products, this can lead to higher profit margins and more predictable revenue streams. The second benefit is the lower marketing costs to promote a wholesale business. Wholesale businesses often rely on word of mouth and customer relationships to generate sales, which can be less costly than traditional marketing and advertising methods. Finally, the benefit of running a wholesale business as opposed to other businesses is its lower purchasing costs. You can achieve economies of scale by purchasing products in large quantities. This is what helps reduce the cost of goods sold and increase your profit margins. Those are really great benefits that would entice anyone to start a wholesale business. However, there are drawbacks to this business that some people are not ready to stomach. Here are the cons that you need to face if you would like to get into this business. The first con is the lower profit margins. While bulk sales can lead to higher profit margins, wholesale businesses often operate on lower margins than retailers. This is due to the need to price products competitively and maintain customer relationships. The second con of running a wholesale business is that you will have a dependence on fewer customers. Businesses that rely heavily on a few key customers may be vulnerable to fluctuations in demand, pricing, or supply. This can affect sales, profit margins, and overall business performance. Finally, perhaps one of the biggest challenges of running a wholesale business that prevents people from starting one entirely is supply chain challenges. Managing inventory, shipping, and logistics can be challenging for wholesalers, particularly as they scale their businesses and work with multiple suppliers and customers. So that's all the pros and cons of running a wholesale business. If you have reached this part of the video, you should now have a good idea if this business model is right for you based on the weigh-in of the pros and cons of this business. Now we can talk about every aspect you need to know to start a wholesale selling business. For you to start getting into wholesaling, you need to first do market research and product selection. This will be critical to building a successful wholesale business. To properly do your market research and product selection, here are 4 key things you should do. First, identify the target market for your product itself. Second, identify the types of retailers and businesses you want to sell your product in. Third, competitor research. And fourth, stay updated with the latest industry trends. Let's go through them one by one. Start your market research by identifying your target market, by learning about the specific group of customers you want to serve. Determine who your customers will be, their needs, and what products they currently use or look for. It will be advantageous for you to conduct market research by considering demographics, geographic location, and consumer needs or pain points. You can use customer surveys, focus groups, and online research to understand your target market's preferences, purchasing behavior, and opinions on existing products. Based on your research, create detailed profiles of your ideal customers, including their age, gender, income, education level, buying behavior, and interests. Even though you'll be selling to retail stores, it's important to know who the end user of your products is. If you need some help creating buyer personas, HubSpot has a great free Make My Persona tool you can use. Along with your end customers, you'll need to identify the types of retailers and businesses that will buy and sell your products. These can include retail businesses, retail distributors, and other wholesalers. Competitor research is also a vital part of market research. You can use Google to find stores that sell your competitors' offerings and other products in your niche. Remember to identify what products your competitors are selling and their unique selling points. This can involve analyzing their websites, social media accounts, and customer reviews. It's also important to stay updated with the latest industry trends, changes in consumer behavior, and the market demand for different products. Industry publications, trade shows, and online resources can help you determine the level of demand for your products. Tools like Google Trends are great for determining the interest in products and niches over time. Simply enter the product or topic, and you'll be able to see whether interest is growing or decreasing over time. It's essential to continuously conduct market research and analyze customer feedback as you grow your wholesale online store. This will help you ensure your product offerings remain relevant and profitable. If you need some help finding the right products to sell, you can use our free Wholesale Items to Sell tool and see what we have listed in the Sale Who directory. Once you have done your market research and finally selected a product to sell, the next big thing in your wholesaling journey is business planning. That starts with creating a business plan. A business plan serves as a roadmap. It outlines your goals, strategies, and financial projections. It should include an executive summary, market analysis, marketing strategy, operations plan, and financial plan. We'll cover the financial side of starting a wholesale business later in the video. If you need help creating a business plan, the US Small Business Administration has a useful guide on its website to walk you through the process. An easy way to create your business plan, if you're struggling to come up with one, is to use business plan templates online. You can just use the business plan template provided by Shopify. You'll also need to choose a business structure. Several business structures exist, including sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, and corporation. Each have advantages and disadvantages, so you'll need to choose the one that best suits your needs. The US Chamber of Commerce has a great breakdown of the different types of business structures and their pros and cons. You can use the guide to help you determine which structure is the right fit for your wholesale store. Depending on your location, you may also need to register your business with your state's Secretary of State. This will involve choosing a business name, filing articles of incorporation or organization, and obtaining a tax ID number. In some cases, you may need to obtain the necessary permits and licenses to operate. We'll cover the legal side of starting a wholesale business later in the video. Now that you have your business plan, it's time to get your finances in order. If you don't know your startup costs and ongoing expenses, you might as well be flying blindfolded. You need to know how much money you'll need to get started and your break-even point. Starting a wholesale business can be expensive, so it's essential to determine your startup costs up front. This includes office space, equipment, inventory, marketing materials, and legal or administrative fees. You don't want to get halfway through the process and realize you're already already over your head financially. And let's not forget about ongoing expenses. These are the costs you'll incur monthly to keep the business running. This includes rent, utilities, salaries, insurance, and other operating expenses. If you're not keeping track of these expenses, you could easily find yourself in a cash flow crunch. If you're unsure where to begin, Monday has a handy startup budget template you can download and use. Next, you need to identify potential sources of funding. You can use personal savings, loans from family and friends, bank loans, and grants to get your wholesale business off the ground. Explore your options and choose the one that best suits your needs. It's also important to create a budget and financial projections. A budget is a plan for allocating your funds and managing your expenses. Financial projections are estimates of your future revenue and expenses. This will help you get a clear understanding of your business's financial situation. Then you can make informed decisions about how to allocate your resources. When creating a budget and financial projections, consider the following. First is revenue projections. Estimate how much revenue you will generate each month based on your sales projections. Don't know what sales projections to expect because you haven't validated your product? You can try validating your product with dropshipping first. We have a video on how to get started dropshipping that you can watch later if you are interested. Also consider your cost of goods sold. Estimate how much it will cost you to purchase and ship your products to customers. Consider your operating expenses. Estimate your ongoing expenses such as rent, utilities, payroll, and insurance. Gross profit margin. Calculate your gross profit margin, which is the difference between your revenue and cost of goods sold. Net profit margin is another thing you need to consider. Calculate your net profit margin, which is the difference between your revenue and expenses. This may not be the most exciting part of starting a wholesale business, but determining your startup costs and ongoing expenses is crucial. Estimating these costs as accurately as possible helps ensure you have enough funds to cover your expenses and stay afloat until your business becomes profitable. Your future self will thank you for taking the time to get this right. Okay, here's the fun but scary part, finding wholesale suppliers. Finding wholesale suppliers can be a bit daunting at first, but it's not as hard as it may first seem. You can start with a Google search. Yep, it's that simple. Type in the product you're looking for and add wholesale suppliers or bulk suppliers to the search query. This should give you a list of potential suppliers to check out. Manufacturers and distributors often rely on networking, referrals, and word of mouth to find new customers. As a result, many companies do not have a substantial presence in search rankings. The best option for most entrepreneurs is to use online directories and wholesale marketplaces. For example, SaleWho is a top directory with more than 8,000 suppliers. You can access suppliers in the United States, the United Kingdom, China, Canada, Australia, and more. Every supplier is vetted, so you don't have to worry about wasting time with scammers or low-quality suppliers. You can also attend trade shows to find potential suppliers. Once you've identified potential suppliers, it's important to negotiate pricing and terms that work for both parties. This may include minimum order quantities, the manufacturer's suggested retail price, payment terms, and delivery schedules. Be clear about your needs and expectations, and ask for references and samples if possible. You may need to work with multiple suppliers to ensure a consistent supply of products. With some great products and reliable suppliers lined up, it's time to focus on marketing and sales. First, you need to think about branding. You want to make sure that your brand stands out from the crowd. What better way to do that with a catchy and unique name? Think outside the box and come up with a name that's memorable and reflects the personality of your business. If you need some help brainstorming, Shopify has a useful business name generator tool you can use to develop some ideas. Now let's move on to your value proposition. What makes your wholesale business different from the rest? Why should people choose you over your competitors? This is where you get to show off your personality and make your mark. To develop a strong brand and value proposition, consider your target market, unique selling proposition, and overall mission and values. Amazon is an excellent example of a strong value proposition that you can take inspiration from, where they say, "Our mission is to continually raise the bar of the customer experience by using the internet and technology to help consumers find, discover, and buy anything, and empower businesses and content creators to maximize their success. We aim to be the Earth's most customer-centric company." It clearly communicates what Amazon does and why they do it. It's customer focused, technology driven, and ambitious in its goals. Next, you'll need to focus on customer acquisition. In today's digital age, having a website and social media presence is essential for building a wholesale business. Your online wholesale storefront should be easy to navigate, visually appealing, and provide detailed product information. Using Shopify is one of the easiest ways to create and launch a wholesale business website. There are a bunch of themes to choose from, and the editor is super easy to use. You'll also need a strong sales network to build your customer base. This may involve attending trade shows, networking with other businesses in your industry, and reaching out to potential customers through email marketing or other outreach efforts. Be sure to follow up with leads and provide exceptional customer service to build strong relationships with your customers. You can also offer incentives to encourage referrals. For example, reward customers that refer new business to you with discounts as a thank you. Now we need to go through how to operate your business once it has got off the ground after marketing it. It's time to dig deeper into the processes that keep your wholesale company running smoothly, starting with inventory and fulfillment. Managing inventory and fulfillment is all about keeping track of what you have and need and making sure your customers get what they want in a timely and efficient manner. The key to successful inventory management is organization. Shopify has a bunch of inventory management apps you can quickly install on your wholesale store and use in your warehouse. Remember, be proactive. Don't wait until you run out of a product to order more. Stay ahead of the game by monitoring your inventory levels regularly and anticipating demand. Use sales data to identify which products sell well and which need a little extra push. You should also create a shipping and logistics plan that detail costs, delivery time, and product packaging. The first step is to choose the right carrier. Look for a vendor that can accommodate your needs and budget and has a reputation for reliable service. Make sure your products are packed securely to avoid damage during transit, and set realistic shipping times. This will help you avoid disappointed customers and negative reviews. You can also keep your customers in the loop by providing tracking information for their shipments. Now on to order and payments. First things first, make sure you have a clear system for receiving orders, whether via your website, phone, email, or carrier pigeon. Make sure it's straightforward for your customers to submit their orders. Once you've received an order, process it as quickly as possible. Nobody likes to wait for their precious goods to arrive. Have a streamlined system to get those orders out the door and on their way to your customers. You'll also need an efficient payment process. Consider offering a variety of payment options, from credit cards to PayPal to good old-fashioned checks. This will give your customers flexibility and ensure you get paid on time. Finally, don't forget to follow up with your customers after their order has been delivered. Send a friendly message to make sure they're happy with their purchase and thank them for their business. It's a great way to build customer loyalty and ensure they come back for more. The last thing we need to go through in this video is your legal and regulatory compliance. This isn't the most exciting part of your wholesale selling career, but it's one of the most important. What I am about to cover is just general advice to get you off the ground. We are not attorneys, so if you have any detailed questions about your particular situation, make sure to consult a lawyer. Now, wholesale businesses must comply with a variety of regulations at the local, state, and federal levels. You can't comply with regulations if you don't know what they are. So the first step is to take some time to research the specific regulations that apply to your business. This may include regulations related to product safety, labor and employment, and environmental protection. Make a list of all the regulations you must comply with and the plan for staying on top of them. You'll also need to understand the tax requirements and reporting. Like any business, your wholesale company will be subject to a variety of taxes, including sales tax, income tax, and employment tax. It's important to understand the tax requirements and reporting obligations to avoid penalties and other legal issues. If you don't already, consider working with a tax professional to ensure compliance with all tax requirements. Alongside tax, you should also think about intellectual property and liability risks. Your intellectual property sets your business apart from the competition, so make sure you're taking steps to protect it. This might mean filing for patents or trademarks, or simply being vigilant about who you share your ideas with. No one likes to think about liability risks, but they're a fact of life when running a business. Make sure you have adequate insurance coverage and take steps to minimize risks, such as implementing safety protocols or warning labels. Anyway, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of content and want us to make more of it. Also, if you want, you can sign up to SaleWho. I'll leave a link to sign up in the description box below. If you want to learn about private label product ideas so you can build a brand and sell at higher prices, check out our video here for 11 private label product ideas. Thanks everyone, see you in the next video.